a musical relationship slash friendship was born. Even with playing music on stage with other musicians, there has to be chemistry there, and at the same time, it's like you want to be able to have chemistry away from the stage as well. Because if you have chemistry away from the stage, your show and your stage presence and everything like that
Yeah,
is going to be
people
even
pick
greater.
up on it. Not just entertainment, what we do. We'll be talking to designers and entrepreneurs and people that's trying to get their t-shirt brand popping. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your hustle is, this is Hustlenometry 101, and we're going to all get there together.
Shag Motown. So like I told you, I got these.
Yeah, yeah,
Chairman of the
Brandon.
board shirt.
Yeah, Brandon.
That's what it is. Testing one, two,
Yes,
testing
yes,
one,
Joel,
two.
and you don't stop.
What's happening, man?
Clear.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see
Mic
you.
check,
Lovely.
1 2 1 2.
You look great. You
All right,
sound great.
Looking good, looking good. Thank you, man. Thanks to Issy Miyake as well.
Is that what it is?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the No Shortcut Show. No Shortcuts with Midas and Fame.
Yeah.
Today is Tuesday, May 31st. We trust and pray everybody had a great Memorial Day holiday yesterday.
Yeah.
That you definitely remembered those that served, as well as, we always like to enjoy ourselves with a little bit of visitation with family, a little bit of food and what have you, and hope and pray that you guys were safe. And we thank you so much for joining us again for another installment. As you are coming in, please do us a favor, do us the biggest favor.
Put it in the chat.
Comment. Let us know that you're here. Let us be our tuning in. Yeah, put it in the chat. We do have a special guest, a very special guest lined up for tonight. But before we get into all of that, please allow me to introduce to you my fellow hustle correspondent to the left of your screen. This guy is your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. That's my tag for him. Yeah, that tag is going to continue to live forever. He's also a digital media strategist as well as an event coordinator. And I know he has some great recapping for us from the weekend. But ladies and gentlemen at home, please make some noise while I make some noise on the screen for my fellow co-host, DJ Famous, aka Mr. Travis Bizel.
What's happening? What's happening, my friend? What's happening? It's good to see you.
Man, I'm chilling like a villain on a penicillin.
Okay. I ain't heard that one in a minute. But that's what it is. My partner, my co-host, MC extraordinaire, microphone doctor, musical director. Yes, this guy wears many hats as well. Shout out to the chairman of the board. He is the musical director of Chairman of the Board and a quite talented MC and producer.
Thank you, sir.
My man Jerry Midas Hardison. What's happening?
Thank you so much, man. Not a whole lot. Whole lot. Just like I was saying, yesterday was a holiday. My son and I did a little bit of celebrating, a little bit of hanging out. He, had brought the water slide out, and
nice.
we were festive, but kept it somewhat close to home. Also, over the weekend, I had an event. Where was I? Oh, it was at the in Asheville, North Carolina, at the Biltmore Forest Country Club.
Yes,
had an event there on Saturday, and then I did my church function at Mount Dewell Baptist Church on Sunday. So last week was a fairly light week, but we're here. No complaints.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah,
I saw your post. You had something going on.
Man, it was a busy weekend, brother. It was a busy weekend. I did a few things. I did a few things. So I had weddings on Saturday night. Had a wedding on Saturday night in Lancaster. It went down pretty well. Sunday morning, my daughter was baptized. Imani got baptized at our Elevation on Sunday morning.
That's awesome.
And then Sunday afternoon, I had a wedding in Rock Hill, which went nuts. It was a Brazilian bride. All the family came in. Yeah, they went nuts. So that was hot. And then yesterday, I did an outreach event. Not musically, but I was kind of through our church, I started working with this
Uh-huh.
outreach center here in the town where I live now, and it's called Mount
Okay.
Calvary Outreach Center, and they have an awesome after school program for kids and a summer camp. And we had a big cookout that I helped sponsor yesterday. So we brought all the
Awesome.
kids in and parents and different local church leaders and community leaders to come and see and hear what we're going to be up to at Mount Calvary Outreach Center this summer. And that
Fantastic.
went great. Everybody was super appreciative of that, and the kids had a good time. We had a bouncy house brought in, and they were bouncing and playing the afternoon away, man. So that was perfect.
Yeah, for sure. The
But that,
bouncy house is a perfect situation for a lot of kids, and they
yeah,
can come play and burn that energy off.
yeah, it was a busy it was a busy week, and by the time Monday evening rolled in, about 8 9 o'clock when I got home, I was just like, wow, it was like the thing all weekend long. So good to have
Yeah,
a few days to relax until we gear up again this coming weekend.
absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to acknowledge we got a couple of guests real quick, and a couple of audience members in our viewership. My mom is on. Hello, mom. Thank you so much for always supporting us every week. Love you so much. And we have
Absolutely.
is that Lanny McCullough is on.
Oh, Lonnie.
Is that Lonnie? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
she's dropped a comment there.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, feel free to hit that share button and share this feed as it is going live. Share it to your
Absolutely.
individual pages. My brother just hopped in, Matt with Matthew. He was a former guest right here on the No Shortcut Show. So yeah, thank you all
Yeah,
for so much for
absolutely,
joining us
absolutely.
tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't see those comments for a second, but I see them now. I see them now. Yeah,
You see him now?
Lonnie worked. She was also a manager at Zales back in the day. We were all managers, just like the guest that we have coming on in just a moment here. Oh, my retail family.
Awesome.
Speaking of
And are
retail,
we
our
getting are
guy,
we getting some feedback?
just a little bit. Yeah, yeah, there was a little bit.
are, are you playing out loud? A little bit of feedback. Okay.
Yeah, I think
We're
we're
gonna
good.
get it squared away for you guys.
Yeah, let's talk about our guest, bud. This guy
But
is where'd you go?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You
there
want to
you
go
go.
ahead and
Oh,
bring him
yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. This guy is
Am I here?
yeah. I've known this gentleman a very long time. Like I said, back in the retail management days, he was a manager of a Zelle store in Dalton, Georgia, and we used to meet up in managers meetings. Our quarterly or yearly meetings, and a couple times I was honored to have
Hmm.
him as my roommate when we had some of those meetings. But
Ah,
then he just like me
yes.
and just like a lot of us, just like when we were talking to your brother Matthew a few weeks ago, he kind of got out of the retail business and got into start doing his own thing. This
Uh
gentleman
huh.
did the same thing.
Common
Now
theme.
he is a well renowned realtor. I call him a real estate mogul and giant. But this is our
Awesome.
guy Jason Burgin is here with us today.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's up?
What's up, Jason? How's
Welcome,
it going?
Jason.
Pretty good, y'all.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and taking a little bit of time out of your day to come on and give us a little insight and a little backstory about yourself and what it is that you do.
Honored to be here. So I'm a real estate agent, so that sums
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
up. That's good.
yeah. Well. Before we give us a little background about like where you're from and a little bit about your family life, and we'll bring everybody up to speed here in just a moment.
So I'll start from back when I met your co-host. We were working for Zell's Jewelers. To very overworked, underpaid store managers at the time.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I had 5 children. Um,
Wow. Okay.
so I joined Zell children. Unfortunately, that was not the case. So after working for there for
Uh
about
huh.
5 6 years, I can't remember anymore. Um, I was looking for a change. I wanted something where I'd have more flexibility for my children. Because retail, you miss out on nights, weekends,
Absolutely.
holidays, the whole thing.
Yep.
And I had an old
Yeah.
high school friend that had been trying to get me to do sales for years.
Uh-oh. Because it's
Or
yeah,
what
All
was
right.
the last thing you heard from me?
All right. I
that
was
you
hearing the.
you
Go
was
ahead.
there for about 5 or 6 years
Mm-hmm.
at Zales.
Zales for about 5 or 6 years. Um, there towards the end, I felt miserable. I felt you hear soul crushing jobs. It's like my soul was dying day by day. I was like, I gotta do something else, and I want to do something where I can actually spend time with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
I finally gave real estate a shot. And I cashed out my 401k.
Okay.
I dropped bills because I kind of hunkered down, knowing it wasn't gonna be easy to change careers.
Mm-hmm.
So I cashed up my 401k, paid everything up or off that I could,
Mm.
and I basically gave myself 6 months budget to make it or break it in real estate. And if it didn't work out, I was going to do something else.
Mm.
But I was going to give it my
Gotcha.
absolute best for that 6 months and just see what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Quick question was.
go ahead.
I was just curious. Like, was what made real estate your focus as far as your transition was concerned?
Well, so it was it was I had been my whole career I always was recruited for the next job.
Okay.
And I was finally at a point in my career where everybody trying to recruit me could not afford what I was already getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's kind of
Ah.
like, and briefly when I left jewelry to go into the cell phone industry, I was one of the top cell phone people in the world, not in the world, in the United States, probably the world, but I
Wow.
know the United States. That one I can tell you for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
And
That's awesome.
so that was straight commission. So I was like, well, real estate's a straight commission job. And if it's something where it's based solely on how hard you're willing to work, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't need someone over me. I can sell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very self motivated.
Right. Right.
And real estate was just the thing it was the door that was open at the time. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Awesome. That
So
makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So I always knew you to be obviously super personable. Just like you mentioned with the cell phone thing, you got to have the right personality and really be able to connect with people to
mhm.
do that. And from what you did prior to working in the jewelry business, what do you think? Like what skills transferred from one industry to another when you decided to go with the real estate?
Well, definitely the work ethic because working at Zales for one. I mean, I don't remember how your schedule always was, but it was nothing for me to work 50, 60 hours a week.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, that was just normal.
yeah,
And then a holiday, 70, not a problem.
Mm.
yeah.
Uh, and you're used to nights, weekends, holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think anything about
Right.
it. But the thing about Zales, they underutilized me in that they wanted me there as a placeholder versus I need to be there
Mm.
when things are busy. And with real estate, I don't have a set schedule, but I work the same amount of hours just on my own
Mm-hmm.
desire. Like 3 in the morning, I might crack my laptop open, get some work
Mm-hmm.
done.
Yeah,
Um,
Right.
but so I still work a lot, but I work smart.
yeah,
And then
Absolutely.
as far as the main thing about being personable, I made a lot of friends and a lot of and I always treated people the way I would want to be treated,
For
and
sure.
that builds up connections because when
Yes.
people know you're not out for the money, which has never been my thing. I mean, I love the money,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong,
mm-hmm.
but
Right.
I enjoy making friends with people.
The money is
And
a byproduct.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
going into a new field, those same clients follow you because they're like, you know
Wow.
what, you've always done this good. Now I knew I had to rebrand myself because I was the
Uh
mall
huh.
guy, I was the mall jewelry guy.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew that was going to be a thing. I can't tell you in the early days, like the first year or so, how many times I show up at a house and somebody go, "You sold me my bracelet" or something like that. They'd be real confused why the
Ah,
mall guy was showing up at their house.
Yeah.
that's awesome though.
but but it opened doors because it had that familiarity that people spend a lot of money trying to get. I already had it because I've been in the mall 30
Uh-huh.
years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's sales is sales. I mean, if you're good at it, the product changes. But if you treat your customers and stuff right, it will carry over to whatever field you try.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And obviously it's been a successful journey for you thus far.
It has. So it's humbling for sure because
Okay.
you win all these sales awards and you're known in your industry, sales and jewelry as being like one, really good at what you do. Well, in real estate, there are people that are just as connected as you, if not better, who've been doing it
Uh-huh.
in real estate. There are people that are 70, 80 years old, been doing this for 50 years.
Wow.
You are going up against some really, really good people. Um,
Yes.
the first 3 months that I did this, I sold one
Hmm.
house. One. You think you're
Okay.
going to blow it out? You
Yeah.
think you're going to be the best there ever
Right. It
was?
takes time, right? Hmm.
but like even the real estate test, because I know you said something about one, anybody wanting to get in real estate. Well, basically, you have to take a 60-hour course, then a
Okay.
30-hour course, then you have a test you have to pass. It took
Hmm.
me 3 times to pass. But the thing that from all my stuff that I think was the best feature is I never stop. If I want something, I will just keep getting up and keep trying again and again and again.
Uh-huh.
So a failure doesn't really scare me, so I'll
Perseverance.
keep trying.
Uh-huh.
But when you come
Hmm.
out your first 3 months and sell one house, there was a point that same high school friend of mine, man, I think I might have to get a part time job. I don't think this is gonna work. I mean, I've sold one house in 3 months. He said, Jason,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
stick with it. Just have faith. Just
I,
stick with it. And that next month,
right.
I put 10 houses under
Hmm.
contract, and
Wow.
then I closed an average of 4 houses a month every month after that. Which, what a new agent normally
Okay.
does in a year, I tripled in that 6 month period.
Wow.
And it's been like that
Wow.
pretty much ever since.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna lie.
Yeah,
There's months
yes.
there's stuff
So
nothing closes, but I always have stuff going.
yeah.
yeah, and that's awesome that you stuck with it because I think a lot of times, when we get into doing entrepreneurial things, we expect instant success
Mm-hmm.
when we get started, but there's gonna be
Hmm.
some bumps in the road, some hurdles to get over before you find your stride, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so
Hmm.
amazing that you didn't give up and you stuck with it. I always think about Shawshank Redemption. You guys remember that movie?
Yeah.
How he's just
Hmm.
gradually breaking out of the jail, and when it was shown to the audience at the beginning, he was just gradually chipping away at the wall with the
Yeah.
little tool, but ultimately he was able to bust out of jail. But that
Yeah.
patience was key, and he just kept chipping away. So that's awesome that you stuck with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
One
for
thing,
sure.
one thing I've always noticed, Jason, with because I obviously I follow you on the social medias, is your sense of humor, of course, and
Hmm.
you kind of use that and leverage that to get business. Like a lot of
Hmm.
people, and not just in real estate, but in any entrepreneurial fields, they feel like their
Hmm.
social media needs to be dry and to the point and straightforward, and this is what I do, and this is how you can get it, and that kind of thing. But yours is just like super funny stuff, even funny looking houses that you see, like, hey, I'm selling this house, and it'll be like something just big, like you kind
Yeah.
of use your actual real sense of humor and just transfer that into your business so people get to know the real you before they meet you. I always found that's really important. I wanted to get you to talk a little bit about that.
Well, it all goes back. One of the first jewelry store I ever worked at. The district manager, I mean, well, the store manager recruited me. She's like, "This is the
Mm-hmm.
guy." District manager sits down with me, and she'd watched me sell. She'd watched me sell for about a week. Well, the district manager sits down with me. I try to be
Mm-hmm.
professional as a professional person can be. Do the
Right.
interview, and find out later on. He's like, "I don't see any of that personality you're talking about. I don't think this is the guy."
Mm.
She's like, "Please hire him." And then later on he said, "You know, if I hadn't hired you, it would have been one of the biggest mistakes of my career because you're all
Wow.
personality." And I made the decision, no matter what I did from then on, I'm going to go in with personality and be myself.
Mm.
Not because
Awesome.
being an ultra professional person, that's not who I am. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Right.
work for me. But when it came to social media, when I first started as a real estate agent, I was told I need to not post anything funny, any of the stuff
Really?
nonsense I post. That I need to scrub
Uh-huh.
my thing, only have professional pictures, and just real estate houses. And I said, no, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
that's
not
not me
you,
at
right?
all. And so what I
Mm-hmm.
do is I post what I think what is funny to me, um,
Uh-huh.
and and I'll put some real estate a little bit. I mean, I'll try not to
Sure.
overdo it because people get bored of that stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that I did is I going into real estate. I added every single agent, broker, anybody, anything to do with real estate. I added them as friends on Facebook. And what
Okay.
happened is they got to know me through my posts before they ever met
Oh,
me. So I would go to the first
interesting.
meeting and meet somebody who's like this ultra super agent, and they go, "Dude, you're so funny," and that's the first time I
Yeah.
ever talked to them.
Yeah.
And and clients and business associates, they got to know that, and you either love it or you hate it. I'm cool if you don't like it, but at
Right,
least you
right.
know me up front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been really important. Know who you know me.
Yeah.
There's no fake
Yeah.
anything here,
Right.
for
That's
better or
great.
worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was something that could, that definitely translated from other parts of business too. Because even prior to, social media being what it is now, I remember when I was in retail, and I know you were the same way, is we didn't want to be like the stuffy jewelry guys. We didn't want to be like the guys across the
No.
hall that all they wore was the tight black suits and all the ladies wore the black, sport coats and you know what I'm saying? And they were just all
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
tight and dry in their personality. I always made sure I had a very colorful staff and we you had to sell yourself just like what you're doing now in real estate. You have to sell
Yes.
yourself first and then
Mm-hmm.
your products, because there's so many other people selling these products too, so they have to get to know you as well. So when you do that, how does what's the reaction you get from clients that have seen these things and then hired contracted you? Right.
Well, the what they get from my posts is I sell a lot of houses, which is
Yeah.
exactly
Mm-hmm.
what happens.
Yeah.
And they also, I had lunch with a friend of mine recently that because he was trying to talk to me about maybe us doing something together, and he said, because I'm known for having an out of the box way of thinking, like a way out of the
Mm-hmm.
box way of thinking.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Way out of the
spouting off
box.
new
Way out of the
business
box, huh?
ideas, which you've heard me do that plenty of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Um,
pretty sure. Let me interrupt real quick, because I'm pretty sure Jason had the idea of NFT before NFT came, because you called me about an
Really?
idea like a year, like 2 years ago, and it sounds real similar
Wow.
to what they're doing now with these NFTs. I think Jason had
Wow.
that.
my idea was to put a sound thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, not a sound thing where you could just show your phone and it would pull up in your
And it
phone with the whole
scans
sales
something.
thing
Yeah.
or
It was like a little
something. Yeah.
Wow.
scanner, a little chip
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Well, and because I try to always look at what everyone else is doing and go, all right, what can I do? Can I do it better or do something different?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because you have to be able to stand out. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and there's so many agents like the billboard I did that's up right now. I've been trying to get it taken down since December.
Hold on, I
Um,
got a picture of this to put up on the screen while you talk about the
Oh, you have
billboard.
a
Yeah,
picture?
yeah,
Okay, let's see. Beautiful homes are waiting for you at jasonburgin.com.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The
What's wrong
original
with that though?
billboard, the original billboard idea was sexy single homes in your area are looking for love at jasonberger.com, which is much funnier, right? But it was too
Right.
much on the billboard. It just looked too cluttered.
Okay.
And at the last minute, I went with that. And I mean, I have people all the time go, "Oh man, I saw that billboard. I saw that billboard,"
Yeah.
but it's never felt like me. And so it was never the only reason I did that billboard. By the way, is I was investing in another business,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
the first year in real estate, I started a Halloween store because I'd always want to do it. I opened the store.
Wow.
It was Halloween themed, and it was going to be a gift shop,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
I hated it so much because I realized I don't have the patience to sit and wait on anybody anymore. I just don't have that patience now
Mm.
Mhm.
from doing real
Mm-hmm.
estate. I'd rather
Yeah.
be able to go find
Mm-hmm.
my people. Well, what happened is me promote marketing that business. There were people who thought I left real estate.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
so I learned from that if I'm going to market something, I have to make darn sure everybody knows I'm still a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I've branded myself.
Okay.
It took me a long time to brand myself, and it threw
Yeah.
off my business for about 3 months when I did it before.
Wow.
So I did this
Uh-huh.
billboard because nobody in their right mind is going to put a billboard up on the main street in your city, the most expensive one, and then do something
Right.
else.
Yeah.
That would be insanity. And then I started with that business, and what happened is I twisted my ankle, and I had to make a choice because it was either do just real estate or do this
Mm-hmm.
other thing, but I couldn't do both because it dawned on me if it's just me, I there's only
Yeah.
so many me left, so
Yeah.
much of me that go
Right.
around.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I shelved that business. Like I invested this money in it. I could
Wow.
start anytime I want to, but I shelved it just because the amount of time I would have had to put in that or most any other business I can think of
Mhm.
versus real estate pays more.
Yeah.
So, you
Mm.
know, unless I do it for the pure love of it, but honestly, when I'm not doing real estate, I'm spending time with my kids and my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I would guess the money that you make doing real estate affords you a little extra free time when it comes to your family and your children as well.
it does. One of the things I'm the proudest of as far as what I've done with real estate is I made it where if I don't sell a single house for a year, I'm good.
Awesome.
I've made sure I've put
Wow.
that kind of savings in the
Yeah.
back where and
Mm-hmm.
so and that's another thing when it comes to thank you.
One time for the one time.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that with salespeople, and I'm sure y'all have seen it.
Mhm.
Salespeople that get desperate, get pushy,
Mhm.
and you don't want
Oh
to deal with that
man.
person. You don't want to deal with a desperate
Nah,
salesperson. The one that
not at
doesn't sell,
all.
if you don't want to buy from me, cool, no worries. Catch you later. Move on to the next thing.
Right.
I can wait.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have clients that I mean they've taken years to decide on a house. Okay, no problem. You know, I'm in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mhm.
a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
But just having that security in place is just
Mm-hmm.
really important to me.
Yeah.
And then
It's
instead of
priceless.
investing in another
Priceless.
business, obviously I've started invested in real estate myself
Mhm.
because real estate is a great
Mm-hmm.
investment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we want to touch
And
on
it's
next. Your next chapter, as far as investing in real estate. How's that looking for you so far?
working on my first house that's still in process.
Mm-hmm.
I've it's been a huge learning curve because this house I had to replace the roof, the windows, the siding, the floor,
Mm.
ceiling, off cabinets,
Wow.
everything. But it's kind of a labor of love. It's something because
Uh-huh.
it was I don't know. It's I have an attachment to the property, so it's been kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
definitely on future stuff, I'm gonna because I can't. I haven't done one piece of work to this myself. I've hired everything out.
Mhm.
So anybody
Okay.
that's thinking of flipping or anything,
Uh-huh.
learn, try to do some of the work yourself
Yeah.
because your profit margins are going to be real slim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I went into that with an idea of how much I wanted to spend in my mind. I've stuck to that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely but real estate isn't for everybody. I mean, I see it
Right.
every day. Everyone sees, you know, this is going to be super easy, and a lot of people, um, you can be good at it. I mean, you can, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot more work than people show. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, when I was like I think I mentioned earlier when we were in the green room that I do have a lot of friends that are now in real estate. Some have been for a while, or some have kind of like what you did and what I did, switch careers at some point and went into real estate. And I can definitely tell it's super hard, but I just noticed what you're doing more so because number one, where you're doing it in Georgia, and I already knew from when I
George.
when I visited you, when you were in the mall there, I already knew this guy was the mayor of the town. Like he was the mayor
Wow.
of the town, and then just how you took those same skills and moved them into a whole nother level, man. I was just like, yo, this
Mm-hmm.
guy, this is what you're supposed to be doing right here, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And
you've done
sometimes it
really good
takes
with your
time for
DJ career. I mean, you've done really good since you left.
Yeah, yeah, I have, and just like you, we made that decision for the same reasons. Just those hours got crazy with missing
yeah, I could imagine.
Christmas and missing Mother's Day and missing Valentine's Day every year. And then when I first left, I moved into working, like we know with DirecTV for a few years and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got to that point, like what you said with the Halloween business and real estate. I was doing DirecTV and I was doing DJ business and branching off into more media and marketing and things like that. And I wasn't going to be able to keep doing all these things, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And DirecTV was it was just kind of like a placeholder at the time. And we got to the
Mm.
point where, I could make that decision to say, let's just, I don't, I needed it for a long time for the medical insurance, but
Yeah.
now we don't. So yeah, we had to make that
Yeah.
decision, just like you say. I can focus more of my time and energy into the thing that is really, really working, and the thing that's building me up more, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
The
And
real
you're
estate was
passionate about
building
it.
you, and you're passionate
Mm-hmm.
about it, of course, and it allows you
Yeah.
more family time and more time. Like you said, after this, you got a nice dinner you're going to, so you couldn't have done that if you were
Yeah.
still working at Zales.
Oh man,
No,
you
I
can't
mean,
eat when
at
you work at
Zales,
Zales.
No.
no, dude, I would be at Zales. I can't tell you the amount of times I couldn't even leave the store
Hmm.
12 hours because I'm
Wow.
Yeah.
stuck there.
Wow.
Staffing issues,
Yeah.
everything. Or they would have us go to these stupid meetings every month where we'd be sitting all day for something that is the same thing we'd heard 50 million times. I
Yeah.
mean, it was nothing
Yeah.
new,
Could have been
but
summed
it
up
made
in
the
the
DJ
Right.
email.
manager feel like they were accomplishing something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. I don't miss that
Yeah.
at all, man. But I do love the idea of getting out there and working for yourself. For the most part, you
Yes.
like you said, you set your schedule, and you know when you need to be working. You don't need someone else to tell you. You know when you
Right.
need to be working and what you
Mm.
need to do to get your goals done, and you do a good job at it, man.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And I was gonna ask you, for anyone who may be listening, guys at home, we apologize. We had a little glitch in the feed, but I see Mom said she's back.
Yeah,
And
we got a
if
few
you
people
if you're
back on.
back with us, leave us a comment so we know you're here.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask Jason, for those that might be tuned in and thinking of buying a house. What's some inside pointers you can share with those folks, Jason?
Um, if it's your first house, I would suggest, you know, get the house you can afford, not the house that you're dreaming of. Get a house you can afford because you do
Hmm.
not want to be cash poor when you get a house. I
Right.
see it a lot of times that people that go, okay, so this is a house I can make into my dream house. Like no
Okay.
house is gonna be perfect right away,
Hmm.
and if it is, they're
Hmm.
gonna charge you for it.
Right.
And so like with the house that I'm redoing, for instance, just as a matter of fact, I'm
Okay.
making it into what I want it to be over a period of time. but
Hmm.
I'm not in debt. I have zero debt. I pay cash for everything with this house.
Awesome.
But in regard to anybody who's looking to get their first house, like I said, make sure it's a payment you can afford, because you could
Hmm.
always get earn that equity. You could always sell that house later. A lot of people think, no, I want to be live in one house forever. That's not the smartest move. Get a
Okay.
house that you can afford to where you're not paying rent. Build up equity, sell that house, make a profit. It's going to make you more than you're going to be able to save in that same time frame, usually,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
go to your bigger house. That's
Yeah.
my advice. But as far as the market goes, in most
Yeah.
areas, inventory is still very is it's there's not enough inventory in a lot of areas. So make
Hmm.
your decisions quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it might be
Make
gone
them
next time.
quickly,
If you wait too long, it's gonna be
huh?
gone.
Yeah,
Wow.
because what I've seen a million times, I use my humor to offset how aggressive I am as a salesperson.
Ah,
But
okay.
I'm a
Interesting.
closer. I am here to make money, not to be a
All
tour guide. So if I go after a house, I'm going after that house to win you that house.
Yeah.
And the people that can't decide end up no houses. I mean,
Yeah.
me and you when we were off a second ago, we were talking about the pandemic. So going back to
Hmm.
the pandemic, every person that couldn't decide before the pandemic still does not have a house right now. Every one of my clients that could not decide still doesn't have one now.
Yeah.
You know how much cheaper
Okay.
houses were
Yeah.
for that pandemic?
They missed that boat.
Wow.
But during the pandemic, that's another thing I was really blessed of is, everything was shutting down everywhere.
Right.
Real estate did not stop. We
Okay.
kept going
Wow.
nonstop.
Okay.
Okay.
I did my 2 weeks at home like everybody else did,
Sure.
and then I would go to the office though because I'm like I gotta be social,
Hmm.
gotta see somebody, and
Okay.
so all the same realtors that I sell all the time, we were still there,
Okay.
and I was still showing houses. I was still doing closings.
Wow.
Instead
That's
of being in a
amazing.
room together, do what?
I said that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually thriving while even other real estate agents weren't hitting anything.
Yeah.
Um, I had such a good client base going. It actually made more money during the pandemic than I did before the pandemic.
Wow.
But the main thing is we were smarter. I mean, we were limited what we did. We wore masks. We did all the
Uh-huh.
stuff you're supposed to
Uh-huh.
do, of course.
Hmm.
Our closings, we would be doing closings in our cars instead of rooms together, all that kind
Okay.
of thing. But
Hmm.
it definitely was. eh, That's another reason I decided to try to do another business and all that. I'm like, wow, what if real estate at the beginning of the thing, I was just as scared
Right.
as anybody. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
have two closings coming up. I'm gonna have to hold on to that money. I mean, I don't know how long
Right.
this is gonna go or what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, since then I'm a lot. It definitely makes you appreciate what you have because so many
Yes.
people were struggling during that.
Hmm.
As far as like the people with rent and all that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
I don't know how some people did it. I mean,
Yeah.
quite frankly, because
The grace of
that was
God.
tough. But
Yeah.
one thing I'm really proud of too is that a lot of people that were struggling with that went ahead and, after the pandemic, after things got a little bit more secure, they tried to get a house so they would never have to worry about rent again.
Hmm.
Because the thing about rent is it is always going to keep going up forever. But with a house
Hmm.
payment, it's going to go down. I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to
Yeah.
stay what it is, or over a period of time, you're going to be able to refinance, lower those house payments, and in a certain period
Hmm.
of time, you're going to own that house.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so that's the thing. But yeah,
For
real
sure.
estate's been rewarding in a lot of ways.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome,
that's
man.
awesome. That's awesome. And I guess it's a certain fulfillment that comes with it when you're able to help someone find their ideal home. I'm sure that's a fulfilling feeling for you.
It is. I really do like that because I know I'm playing a part in these people's lives. They're going to be here
Yeah.
possibly the rest of their life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and helping people that live in their homes that rented it, help them buy it from their landlords. That's even more fulfilling, honestly,
Wow.
because
Okay.
there's so many people that will rent for decades. They don't own. They don't have that concept. But I'm like, y'all, you could own this, and I will talk their landlords into selling it to them. It's just really fun, kind of helping people because
Yeah.
I grew up with a family that rented. We did not own.
Okay.
We rented.
Uh-huh.
And so
Mm-hmm.
the idea of owning a house before I owned a house, completely alien concept to me,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just, just letting people know there's alternatives and kind of helping them see their dreams come true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
And
wonderful.
and it for the
Wonderful.
right reasons, not just that mogul money, for sure.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. I always
you
like to
know,
say, go ahead. Go, I'm sorry.
well, I was going to say is I was actually talking to one of my kids about this. Is the reason I got into sales is because my grandfather was a salesman, and I thought he made friends with people for a living. And I was like, that's a great job there. You
Mm.
just become people's friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still what
Yeah.
I do. And if the money comes, that's great. But the relationships that you build up are invaluable,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's awesome.
And I just
Yes.
like to talk.
Relationships.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
so if anybody's willing
That's
to listen to
great.
me talk, we're friends.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
for
definitely. But the relationships are so important, and in any field, being able to have that, it's a gift. Not everybody has it, but I feel like everybody should put forth their best effort to build relationships. And those
Hmm.
relationships, you never know when you need to put a call in or ask a favor or what have you, and vice versa. So
hmm
relationships are definitely very helpful when being self-employed or being an entrepreneur. So I agree with you 100%.
yeah, definitely. So, Jason, as we close it down, we also wanted to get from you some tips. You gave us some tips for someone trying to buy a house. Now we have, this show is always geared towards entrepreneurs, hustlers, people going
Yes.
into businesses. So, what kind of gift do you want to leave them with? Anyone wanting to get into the real estate business, or just go into business for themselves? Period. After they've been doing one thing all this time and they think that's what they do.
Well, I mean, anybody who wants to go into business for themselves, whatever your idea is, my advice has always been, because I mean, I've been doing different kind of business since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Is how much money do you have? How much you're willing to lose? So you can start a business for $5, whatever it is. If you're looking for a side hustle, think of what the most basic thing in that field or whatever that is that you can do with what you have, because you have
Mm-hmm.
two assets. You either are going to have time or money. You may not have a
Mm.
lot of time, may not have a lot of money, but what are you willing to do with what you have to achieve your dreams? And
Mm-hmm.
I see every day people want a shortcut to success.
Hey.
Everybody wants
No
quick money.
shortcuts.
But the thing is from the beginning of that journey to the end, the skills and
Mm-hmm.
everything you learn are going to you need those. You don't want to
You
point A to
need them.
point B right away. You got to work for it,
Right.
but it's going to be worth it later.
Right.
But yeah, basically is whatever your dream is, you sit down, you make a plan of attack, and even if it's one step towards that plan, that's
Mm-hmm.
one step more than you had
Mm-hmm.
already done.
That's a fact.
Um, and a lot of people, whenever they saw me being successful at this, they're like, "Oh man, you're an inspiration because in your 40s you did this. In my
Mm-hmm.
30s, I went back to
Mm-hmm.
college." I mean, I always try to do stuff to challenge myself and
Absolutely.
prove to myself I'm still as good as I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and plus,
For
with
sure.
5 kids, I want them to go. All right, Dad will try anything once.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah,
not
and
afraid
you're
to
probably
fail.
inspiring them as well. They're watching you, and you could be rubbing off on them. They see you doing this and doing that and being successful. It'll catch on as far as they're concerned as well. I believe.
I hope so. But the one thing
Yeah.
that was important to me I didn't want my kids to go into sales. If they fell into it, that's great. But you have to fall in love with this. You have to love it, or you'll burn out.
Yeah.
I wanted
Mm-hmm.
my kids hopefully to find something a little bit more stable, like a little normal job. But
Yeah.
I can't not sell. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's as much of my personality
Mm-hmm.
as anything else.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. So there are no. Hey, you heard it from Jason. There are no shortcuts. That's what we say every
No
week.
shortcuts. Yeah, on the No Shortcuts show.
It's on the no.
And then the other thing too, adding to that is there's your assets or knowledge. You can gain knowledge through talking to people in the field that you want to be in, reading
Uh-huh.
every book you can. There's
Mm-hmm.
knowledge isn't going to hurt you.
Not at all. Not at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get a one time for that. I'm still working.
Yeah. One
I'm
more
working on these
time.
sound effects.
No
That's awesome.
shortcuts. Yeah,
No
Mom.
shortcuts
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
right. You're on
Hey
it.
man, we
You're on
definitely
it.
appreciate you joining with us today, and
Not
a
a problem.
few little technical things to iron out for sure, but it's gonna live in the
Yeah.
replay, and people will still be watching this for days here on Facebook, and then we'll post it on our YouTube
Throw it
channel
over
as
to
well
YouTube.
once we clean it up a bit.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys follow the YouTube if you're not already, and
Yeah.
check out these replays and share them with someone.
Yeah. We coming back behind after we log off to drop the link in the comments where you
Yeah.
guys can go over and subscribe. Do we have any links for Jason, his contact information?
Yeah, let me put the billboard back up.
There it is,
JasonBurgin.com.
folks.
There he is. So that's if you look,
Yeah.
hey, this man is he makes things happen. He makes things
And
happen out there in Georgia for sure.
in the
And
Georgia area. Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
so
Yeah,
look out
folks,
to
All
definitely
right,
take
y'all.
that
Well, it's
down.
great being on. Thank you so much.
thank you,
Yeah. So,
brother.
do you have any social media links you want to leave with the people, Jason? I'll probably follow you as well.
Jason Lee
Are you on
Burgin. Y'all want to be my friend? Just add me.
Yeah,
I'll do
Jason
all
Lee
on
the
Burgin.
things.
Instagram,
I'll put it in the chat.
Facebook, Instagram? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Cool
I never
deal.
check my Instagram. Just
Yeah.
Facebook me.
Well,
Yeah.
Facebook
That's
it is
another
then.
another
Facebook
thing
it is.
is you need to pick a social media and focus on it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do 10 social media things. You'll never see me do a TikTok or
I
anything
don't
like
have
that.
a
Oh,
TikTok either.
yeah. I can't do the TikTok thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little, and I'm not of that generation. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
me
You know.
neither.
Not me either. Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah,
we know
man.
we know
Yeah,
you got to get to a dinner, so we want to thank you again for coming through. We definitely appreciate
for
it.
sure. For sure.
And
Yeah.
we'll talk
You
All
wanna?
right,
soon.
You
thanks,
got
y'all.
any closing words, Jason, before we get out of here to the audience or those that'll be watching the replay or watching in the future or those that are on now?
Whenever you get an opportunity to do anything, something like this, be open to it. Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
like, it's either gonna come out great or I'm gonna sound ridiculous, and I'm okay with either one. So let's just do it.
Proactive.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Don't be
All right.
scared, Jason said. Don't be scared.
All right, y'all
Don't
have a
be
good one.
scared.
All right, you too, brother.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah. We
All
we
right.
can close out from
Yeah,
there.
we'll close
Thank
out.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Jason.
Let's give it up for
So
Jason
good.
Burgin, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy your day. If there's any doggy bags, let us know.
We'll take some.
You know what I mean? We'll take
Yeah.
some doggy bags and see what's going on.
Yeah, that was good
What
stuff,
you got
man.
coming up this weekend, man?
This weekend's gonna
Oh,
be kind of
excellent
light.
stuff.
It's gonna be kind of light.
Yeah?
Just I have a wedding on Saturday at the Breakfield in Riverwalk. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, a little wedding with just the reception only, so it's definitely gonna be light. It's not even the ceremony. They already got married, so we're just doing their
Okay.
reception at the
Uh-huh.
Breakfield at Riverwalk on Saturday. And
Nice,
that's it for
nice,
this weekend.
nice.
I'm what you call chillaxing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, for myself,
Yeah.
Mellow Groove will be performing at the Rock Hill Country Club on Friday night as they
Okay.
kick off for their. They have a food truck party, but they're about to kick
Yeah.
off their weekend golf tournament on Saturday, so we're performing there. It's a private event. Please don't show up. This is from 6 to 9 on Friday night. I will be doing that. And then on Saturday, the chairman of the board and the executives are traveling to Clarksville, Virginia
Okay.
for the Life at the Lake concert series, and that's also from 6 until 9
Yeah,
on Saturday. And then I'll be at church at Mount Dewell
for sure.
Baptist Church on Sunday morning. We
For
start at
sure.
9:30 a.m. Then before we go, I got to
Yes.
shout out. I got to shout out my folks.
You gotta do the
You
shout
know what I
outs.
mean? Let me take a deep breath.
Remember, what was it? What was some show that at the end of every episode they had to do shout outs? It might have been like Ed Lover and
I'm
Dr.
not
Dre.
sure.
I think it was like
Oh,
Ed Lover
back
and
in the
Dr. Dre
day,
on the radio. At the end of the show, they gotta do
gotta give
shout outs.
gotta give the shout outs, man.
Let's do the plugs and
First
the
and
shout outs.
foremost, yeah, first and foremost, thank you all who joined us live today. But real quick, shout out to Mellow Groove, shout out to the chairman of the board, the executives, Praise and Faith Gospel Shop, Smooth Sales, A Touch of Faith, the Our Power community, also the Honeycomb family, and the official Earth, Wind, and Fire family. Appreciate you guys. These are relationships and the people of my family that I've made over the last 2 years. So I always like to show love. They show me a lot of love.
Definitely.
And when it comes to social media, I get to see little tidbits of what everybody is doing and whatnot. So I always want to, show the love and shout my people out when I get a chance to do so.
Definitely, definitely. And we appreciate you all for supporting us for sure. And Miss
Yeah.
Francis is coming to the
She
party,
says she
even though
coming.
it's private. She's coming. She's coming. Don't tell us where it's
Hey,
at. We coming.
people wonder where I get some of my humor
Yeah.
from. You
Don't
probably see little glimpses.
don't tell us where it's at and then tell us we can't go. Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. I just let you know what I'm doing. I gave
Yeah.
out no address, no
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I mean?
that's
I'm just
cool.
letting you know I'm working. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's right. We working, man. We appreciate you all for rocking with us. If you're watching the
Yeah.
replay, make sure you share it. You share it with your friends.
Please
Tell
do.
friends about it. And we'll do this
Yes.
again next Tuesday, man.
Yeah, and I'm working on getting V Keys to join us next
That'll be
Tuesday. I
awesome.
will confirm that with you
Yeah,
as
that'll
the
be
week
awesome.
progresses.
I mean, we already put it
But
out
either
into
way,
the atmosphere now, so we good.
yes, in the atmosphere.
Yes.
So whatever the case, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to join us again next Tuesday, same time, same channel. In the meantime,
Yeah.
you guys be safe out there, stay cool because them temperatures starting to heat up. Summertime is
yeah.
almost upon us. And happy early birthday to my son Isaiah. He'll be turning 9 years old on Monday.
Oh, for sure. Happy
So
birthday.
yeah,
That's
I'll
what's
definitely
up.
pass that along. So when I log
Yeah.
back on next week, he'll be 9
You'll
years
have
old.
yourself a 9-year-old.
Yeah, man, we halfway
cool.
there, ain't we?
Yeah, buddy. Just don't
But we
start
know it
over
don't
like I
stop after
did.
that. Yeah, man. Hey, that's yet to be determined.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, like
Hey, Mama
Don,
said, "Happy birthday, Isaiah."
yeah.
Said,
Like-
"Thank you, Mom." Go ahead.
In
My
the
bad,
words
bro.
of the famous Don Cornelius, tonight I'm gonna say peace and love.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it with the head movement.
Nah, just the t-shirt movements. Peace and love.
Me neither. I might shake my hair loose. I ain't gonna even attempt that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen,
All right,
we're gonna go ahead and go. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all enjoy your dinner.
Peace.
Peace, love, be safe, be cool.
All right.
God bless. Good night.
Yeah.